Hi, welcome to vlog number 10. So this week I'm going to change the pace a little bit and not going to have any data or graphs or presentations. This week it's just a bit of me talking about training and reflecting on progress and some challenges and just that kind of general chit chat around uh, progress towards training really. So last week I spoke about using like a weekly undulating periodization approach. So this last week has been deload week, and then this week starts again with the like a heavier loading week. So where I was at the start of last week, I was desperate in need of it. I didn't realise just how badly I'd needed that kind of back off week. It's been the first back off week I've had since I started, so yeah, kind of common sense really. It was needed. So just like desire to train, desire to kind of push lifts and work to the highest standards I could. Just weren't there last week, and a number of different reasons for that. Probably just come off the back of a really kind of stressful and kind of draining couple of weeks with defending the PhD and the marking end of this year. So it was just kind of end of year, kind of academia kind of stuff, plus that kind of big emotional dump of completing the PhD, which was positive, but still kind of this emotional kind of effect. Coupled with that, I suffer from hay fever, and I'm not going to use this as an excuse or kind of play the violin or anything like that. But basically, what happens is with hay fever, I tried taking some medication that made me just drowsy. It was non-drowsy medication, but it just made me just kind of want to go to sleep all the time. So didn't have a really good week during last week, but I managed to kind of get through. I suppose why I'm talking about this is you write a plan, you write this kind of ideal model of what you want to do and how you want to do it, and this kind of wonderful linear progression of how weight's going to change. But that's not reality. And stuff you don't think about will come up. Stuff you don't plan for will affect you. Stuff you don't know about in advance or can't even anticipate, that's going to kind of affect it. So it's kind of dealing with them as you go along. And not letting it derail you, but equally not being a machine. You don't pretend you're a machine that can just keep going through. Outside life doesn't influence you. It does. It should. And just getting through it. So last week was a kind of a good week to have that. You can see Heafy and my nose is going again. So it didn't really affect the heavy week, and this week hopefully I've come off the meds. I'm just going to manage it a different way altogether, and hopefully, as you can see, nose is going. But I can train better this week, and I've had a session today, which was much better. I felt like I could push. I felt like I could lift better, and hopefully that's kind of a model that will now work well for the next couple of weeks. Just on that, so my target, my prime exercise this month has been front squats, and I had a really lovely linear progression with back squats. And what I've really noticed since I started doing front squatting is you just can't assume that linear progression will be the same. So I talked about RPE and velocity quite a few times. So how hard you are lifting should be reflecting how fast you're moving. Well, I've not found that the case the first couple of weeks of front squats. I'm moving quite fast actually. If you look at my velocities on the bar, and again today's not about data, but it's just a general trend. I'm moving pretty fast. Like if that was a back squat, I'd be doing really light. But the effort is just far higher. So not every exercise has this kind of lovely, kind of nice, neat relationship, and the back squat seems to be much better between how hard you're working, how fast you're moving. But it may just be that I just need to spend a bit more time relearning the front squat. I'm fairly novel at it at the moment. I've used to do it a lot, but not for a long time. So it might take me 4, 5, 6 weeks to get back to that position where the load and intensity for me is the same as how hard I feel I'm working. So today I was like did a set of 10 at 80 kilos for, I think the set average was 0.6 meters per second, which on a back squat I'd be absolutely flying. That's like 60-75% speed. But I felt it was like 7, 8 out of 10 on difficulty. So that just kind of shows I've got some work to do there. So stay in that kind of process. Hopefully in the next 3, 4, 5 weeks that'll start to, the velocities will be able to drop down a bit and the intensity will stay the same, and I'll start to see at the end of the phase that relationship getting much closer together. So that's kind of where I am this week. Just kind of progressing through there. I'll hopefully show next couple of weeks a bit more dates in terms of body composition changes, low velocity profiling. That'd be quite interesting to see how that's been affected by this um, interaction between front squats, how hard I'm feeling working, how fast I'm moving, whether my back squats have not been affected at all, or whether this general phase of training still managed to have some kind of improvement in back squat technique, and it might have actually transferred into actual technical changes. I might be able to perform technically the back squat better, and therefore just maybe get a couple of percent increase in back squat performance because of that. So just a quick update this week. I said I'd always try and keep something up to date every week. So hopefully I'll be able to provide you more information this time next week.